and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We made it. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up with chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't you disrespect the game like that. It's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm proud when you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You had no work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We made it. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
No, this game is not over. It's just getting started right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. We are streaming live on KYOKradio.org and on Facebook, on Twitter. Both of those are at Lunch Break KYOK, at Lunch Break KYOK. And then on YouTube, it's the Lunch Break with AJ. The Lunch Break with AJ. I got to figure out how to get the name the same on all social media platforms like I am Valencia King. I got to get her on the show because Luca just got paid. It's Friday night. Money in my pocket. Luca, 5-year, $207 million extension. Congratulations, Luca. I heard Skip and Uncle Shannon talking today, and one of the things that they said about Luka was his free throw shooting. How Luka shoots air balls on his free throws. Man, pay that man. Pay that man all that money, pay him every dime, and you work on free throws. Shaq won multiple championships, was probably one of the most dominant big men. Was one of the most dominant big men in the building and couldn't shoot free throws. Every now and then, can we just appreciate greatness? I mean, they were going back and forth about who was the greater player, Kevin Durant or Giannis. I'm serious, man. When back in the day when we had Bird, we had Magic, we had Michael, we had Dominique Wilkins. You know, back in the day when we had those cats, maybe they were bantering back and forth on who was the greatest of all time. But, man, you just looked at the schedules like, oh, man, we got Atlanta and Boston. That's Dominique against Bird. We got Boston versus the Lakers. That's Bird versus Magic. You know, we got the Bulls versus the Lakers. You knew what that was. Isaiah Thomas. I mean, I just don't remember it being like that. Hakeem. When you had the Rockets against somebody, you knew it was Elijah Wan versus. Barkley and you know, and his guys. I mean, I know it's fun to talk about, I guess, but man, Giannis's playoff run was epic. Kevin Durant's playoff run against the Milwaukee Bucks was epic, but it ended in an L. It doesn't make him less great. It doesn't make Giannis greater. It's just a great run. I know. I'm horrible when it comes to producing TV shows and radio shows because I'll be like, that's not a thing. I'll be in their ear like, that's not a thing. Move on. And they'll be like, yo, this is good stuff. Look what I'm doing. I'm talking about it. Out at Texas training camp, got some breaking news from Nick Caserio from Camp Caserio. That's dumb. But anyway, I'll tell you what's the latest with the Texans when we come back right here on the lunch break on the Legendary KYOK All New 92.3 FM. It's Talk to Your Team Tuesday. Longhorn Keith, Todd, y'all know the number. Get at me so I can get at y'all. All right, we'll be back on the lunch break on the Legendary KYOK and the all new 92.3 FM. If you want to get in to talk to your team, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000, or text me 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. I'm going to give you my power rankings from the SWAC, from the MEAC, and I want to rank not quarterbacks, not teams, but coaches in each of the NFL divisions. We'll be right back on the lunch break.
I am Jacqueline Carr, and here is your winning strategy. Someone did a study to see if plants will respond to words. They put plants in 3 greenhouses. In one greenhouse, they played insulting words around the plants. In another greenhouse, they didn't have any conversation going on. And in the last greenhouse, they played loving words of praise around the plants. Both greenhouses with the positive and negative words performed well. However, I believe that if the plants could talk, the plants that were in the house with the unpleasant words will probably come out saying negative words. Your environment affects you. Sometimes you can't change your environment right away, but you can change your words, and your words will eventually change your settings.
Want to hear some inside scoop? If your kids are as ready to go back to school as mine are, you gotta check out Kohl's. I got my daughters the cutest sew tops for under $18, JanSport backpacks for 25% off, and 30% off Levi's jeans for me. I even saved an extra 15% and picked up Kohl's cash. So, yeah, not sure who's more excited right now, me or the girls. Select styles, 15% offer ends August 15th. Levi's coupons do not apply. Some exclusions apply. See store Kohl's.com for details.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110. Guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
800-298-0139. 800-298-0139. 800-298-0139. That's 800-298-0139. Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m. got to give the people, give people what they want.
The legendary KYOK, 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
What's up, everybody? This is Jonathan Nelson, and you're listening to The Lunch Break with AJ.
Appreciate you, Mr. Jonathan Nelson, with his amazing self. Great worship leader from Chicago. What if he's a Bears fan? I think I asked him that when he was in the studio. And I think he said he was. I'm trying to remember if he was a White Sox or a Cubs fan, though. That's where the rubber meets the road right there. Most folks from Chicago are definitely Bears fans. The Bears. But then you got to find out if they are a Cub or White Sox fan. Because, you know, they got two teams in the same city. I know they're the Bulls fans and the Blackhawks. Got to have a D on it. But I wonder if Jonathan Nelson and his brother Jason, if they are Cubs fans or White Sox fans. Amber Malcolm, not Amber Malcolm, that's Todd's wife. Amber Shaw. Amber Shaw. She is the person that's in all the know with the gospel recording artist. Amber, find out if Jonathan and Jason are Cubs or Bulls fans. Talk your team Tuesday. I need to know. Todd and Keith are avoiding me today because they know I'm going to tear their tails up. They don't want that. CJ all in my mentions. Talking about the color of my shirt that I have on. You know, hey, you already know, don't you? Don't you already know? I had to look like something out at the training camp today with the Texans. So here was the breaking news. As practice came to a close, Nick Caserio, the Texans general manager, said that it is unlikely or doubtful that Deshaun will even travel with the team Saturday to Green Bay to take on the Packers. And that left a lot of speculation. He said a whole lot of words, but the main thing was Deshaun not going to travel with the team Saturday to Wisconsin to take on the Green Bay Packers, which lends to the question, what are they doing? What are they doing with Deshaun? I know Deshaun surprised them by reporting to training camp, and it was a good move. Deshaun and his agent, that was a good move. Now the Texans got to figure out what they're doing. And as I said yesterday, published reports and my sources are saying that the Texans are not entertaining calls about Deshaun because the calls are not anywhere in the ballpark of where they want to be to trade the quarterback. And I get it. Bill O'Brien has henceforth now and forevermore, so it's been said, let it be written, messed it up for any general manager who ever comes along in a Texan logoed shirt when it comes to trades. No one, including Nick Caserio, especially Nick Caserio, can have a trade as bad as the DeAndre Hopkins, David Johnson trade. Like, that's instant firing. Like, you automatically fire yourself. You know, I watched Fast and Furious 8, the Hobbs and Shaw epic. Idris Elba was the bad guy in that. And when they got done with him, they just terminated him. They released something in his forehead and he fell off the cliff. That's what will happen to the general manager that pulls off another trade as bad as what Bill O'Brien pulled off with DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson. That will forever be one of the worst trades ever in NBA and NFL history. Forever. There might be others as bad or worse, but that one will always be in the discussion. So I get that Nick Caserio can't trade Deshaun Watson for, I don't keep throwing his name out there because they're rumored to be in the discussion. He can't just trade him heads up for Jalen Hurts. He can't trade him heads up for Tua Tagovailoa. You know, he definitely can't trade him heads up for Drew Lock. You got to get any one of those quarterbacks plus 3 or 2 at the most, at the least, first-round draft choices, like next year. not in 2028. So your starting quarterback plus 3 first-rounders is about where Deshaun Watson needs to be. And I get if you don't get that, you don't pull the trigger. But today's today's announcement begs the question, what are you doing with him? What are you going to do? You cannot give him one of those Aaron Rodgers deals. So you would have to literally void the contract that he signed and was accepted by the league and give him a 1-year deal and make him an unrestricted free agent after that. And the Texans are not going to do that. This is where I feel like pride is coming into the equation. I know the legal unknown, again, my sincere thoughts and prayers are with every one of those women that filed civil and criminal complaints. That aside, I'm just talking about the football aspect of it. That aside, it makes it very hard for any team to say, all right, here's our starting quarterback and 3 first-rounders. They don't know if Deshaun is going to be suspended for a year, 6 games, 8 games. How many they played now? 17, 9 games. They don't know if he's going to be suspended indefinitely. NFL commissioners, exempt list. But what are you doing with him? What are you going to do? I mean, this is one of those cases where you just have to make a decision and live with it. Right. You don't do I don't believe I threw that right in there randomly. Y'all strike that from the record. What you do is, you don't do a deal like Bill O'Brien and D-Hop. You don't do that. That's a given. You don't do that deal. But you got to do something. You just can't keep him on ice. There's no such thing as a Texans commissioner list, exempt list. So the Texans are just going to make him unavailable for the entire season? I guess they could. If I'm the NFL Players Association, I'm all over that. I'm taking that one to the Supreme Court. And don't you dare call me with, the rules. January 6th. Fake election fraud. Don't come at me with that. Everybody wants to come at people with the rules when it's convenient for them. But when other folks break the rules, it's, they were just standing up for their constitutional rights. Yeah. If the Texans are going to suspend him, then let him say that. Don't just keep telling us week after week he's unavailable. If the league is going to suspend him, do it. Don't keep messing around like like he might play, he might not. And I'm going to say this, and you're going to be mad at me for saying it. The only reason why, to me, this hasn't been pushed along further is because of the attorney for the women. Tony Busby is the wrong attorney for these women to get justice. If it's about getting publicity and circus stunts and just drama, just unnecessary, messy, stupid, idiotic drama, he's the right guy. He's the right guy. But if this is about justice for these women and getting this case resolved and getting it in court and getting some decisions and things like that, even if the women wanted to do settlements, if it was about that, he's the wrong attorney for that. Tell him I said it. I want them to get justice. I want this case to get resolved. If he's guilty, he should never play another down. If he's guilty of all that he's charged with, he should never play another down. If he's not, do something. Settle it. Give these women what they want and move on. Nick Casario, I guess he's trying to do the best job he can. I guess he is. The whole, he's injured, out all last week, injured. Just so happened his injury that no one saw at practice came right after one of the women went on local TV with some very painfully graphic details. He was unavailable all week long. Comes back yesterday, works out with the quarterbacks and some receivers, but then when it came to the team drills, he's not available. And then today we get word that he is not going to travel with the team on Saturday. Doubtful that he will travel with the team on Saturday. Man, it's a lot. It's a lot. We take a break. When I come back, I'll talk about the quarterbacks that were there, and I'll talk about some of the other people that stood out at training camp. 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000 is the number, or text me 832-403-5005. If you see Todd or Longhorn Keith out there, ask them if they're okay. I'm just checking on them. I'm just trying to see some. If you see Todd or Longhorn Keith out there, see if they're all right. All right, I'll be right back.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-219-8332. 800-219-8332. 800-219-8332. That's 800-219-8332.
Okay. What it do?
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. That's 800-958-2156.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK, 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire, located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211. Conveniently located on the north side.
This is Letitia, and you're listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM, streaming live, kyokradio.org, and on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Let me go to the phone line. Got call of the year 2017, calling in the Talk It's Team. What's going on, Ferdinand? How you doing, man?
What's going on in the breakers? Hey, man, Pittsburgh have made a lot of changes, and looks like they're going to be hard to beat this year, brother AJ.
Okay. All right. You know what? You know I'm a Steelers fan, so I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all.
I'm just happy about the running back they was able to acquire.
Najee Harris,
yeah.
bro. You're going to see a whole lot of Najee Harris. Everybody's talking about that offensive line protecting Ben Roethlisberger. Watch what happens when Najee Harris starts popping it off 4-5 yards a carry, and see how much more protection Ben Roethlisberger will have when they got to respect that running game coming out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and that's the championship combination. So as long as they stay healthy, you have to develop a run game in the NFL.
Let me just say this real quick, Ferdinand. You and me, we just you and me talking. Ain't nobody else listening.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let them talk about Cleveland. Let them talk about Baltimore. Let them talk about Cincinnati. Let them talk about. I keep telling Cleveland, best team ever was, ever will be. Baker Mayfield, best quarterback ever was, ever will be. Let them talk, because quietly they're gonna look up and Pittsburgh's gonna be like 13-4. They're gonna be somewhere around there, and they're gonna be wondering like, dang, we need to win these last 2-3 games to get into the playoffs. And Pittsburgh will have locked that thing down early, because they're going to sneak in there and do it again now that they fixed that line, now that they've added some depth on that defense, and now that they've got a running game.
Yeah. I mean, you can't ask for any more than what they've done. I mean, they did some championship things, and I just think that it's going to work out for them.
Yeah, you and me both. You and me both.
As far as the Texans, I don't know. It's best for them to go forward, and just kind of leave the Deshaun Watson situation on the back burner. You need to make a whole nother identity going forward, and just leave well enough alone. And that's about it for them.
Yeah, I'm. It's one of those things where I need to just not get my emotions in it, because I feel like they're playing a cat and mouse game, but they got to play a cat and mouse game because they literally don't know anything like we don't know. I do know that they ought to be listening to some of these trades, because maybe they're not going to get everything that they want on the first phone call, but they can at least open up the negotiations to say, all right, if you do this, we're done. If you can't do that, we're done. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Well, the situation is done. Whether the Texans want to believe it or not, Deshaun has too many problems, and he already wanted to be gone before the problems came on. And then, look, you have a bad situation. Like you say, you have to make a decision whether you want to make one or not. So whether they make the right or wrong decision, it's totally left up to them. But you really have to make a decision and move away from Deshaun Watson and let Deshaun go somewhere else where he can start his life over and begin a new situation. And that's all you can do, man. That's all you can do.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. This first practice game, practice game. I'm looking for some of these young cats to see what they got. See if there's some solid depth. See what kind of draft Nick Caserio had. I hate that they're calling this Camp Caserio. This doesn't need to be about the general manager. This should be about the head coach, the players, and that. So I'm curious to see how this first preseason game will be.
Absolutely. I ain't gonna hold you out there, but yeah, that's it too. I'm ready. Let the football begin.
Yeah, hey, listen, in a few minutes, I'm going to give my power rankings, not by quarterback, not by teams' wins and losses, but by head coaches in each one of the divisions. I think you're going to find it interesting, especially with the AFC North, with Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland, and Cincinnati.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you, AJ. Pretty much, I'm with you, man. I'm ready.
All right, Ferdinand, appreciate you. Be safe out there. Tell my sister I said hello.
Okay, have a good one.
All right, you too. Let me go to another call. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
This is the official Texas two-step Longhorn Keith and my brother Todd Malcolm whenever he gets on the line. You called for it, brother. So we here. We ready. Let's get it on. You ready to talk about these Longhorns and how great we going to be?
Man, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Every time you come on, man, all I can do is one of them deep sigh. Hold on, this might be Todd. Let me get this person on. Hold on one second. Hold on a second. Let me add him in. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Hey, Ray, how you feel, baby?
Oh, that's the greatest. Oh, greatest. Good. I'm glad you.
I gotta hear it.
Greatest. You stay right there. Stay right there, because what happened was he was standing in the ring talking all that noise and messed around, and the Road Warriors then jumped in here on him. Messed around and Junkyard Dog and Hulk Hogan done walk down the aisle on him. Yeah. So let's go down to the ring and talk to him a little bit, see what he's talking about. He's talking about some crazy Longhorns gonna be good in the SEC. Greatest, I'm gonna tag you in first. Deal with him, Greatest. Deal with him.
Oh man, I might have should have waited, man, because I want to talk about something totally.
All right, well, hold on. Let's twist him up. Let's twist him up. What you want to talk about, Greatest? Let's see if he can handle that. Longhorn Keith, you stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Don't
No. I called back, nigga. I don't want to interrupt y'all groove, man. I
Greatest, man. See, you like the tag team partner that turns on the main dude, man. Get off my telephone, Greatest. Get off my telephone. Boy, Longhorn Keith, he left me out there, didn't he? He left me. I'm thinking we're going to come down to the ring and whoop you, and he done hit me in the back of the head with a chair.
Listen, man, you remember, I don't know if you remember on channel, I think it was channel 39, when downtown at the wrestling ring, every Friday night, they would have, what was his name? Paul Box.
Yep.
Would be on, and he would interview people, and I'll never forget when the first time that Andre the Giant was in the ring, and man, when I was a kid, the first time my parents got a chance to take me down to go see that spectacle, I walked up to the ring, I walked into the Coliseum, and I saw him in the ring, man, and he was the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. I said, man, how's anybody gonna beat him?
Yeah, man.
That's the way we feel as Longhorns, man. When you you see us in the ring, everybody asks that question. How in the world?
Oh my gosh. Keith, hold on. Let me see if this time. I'm trying to get you some help, man, because you digging yourself a hole. Hold on a second. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this? Oh, they done hung up. Hold on. Let me get them off. KYOK, who's this?
AJ and Todd.
Oh man, hold on. Let me conference your little tag team partner on here. Hold on. Keith.
Here we go.
There go your little free bird right there. There go your little free bird partner right there. Call y'all the free birds.
Man, listen,
you can text me 2 o'clock in the morning and say you want to get some of this, and I'll make myself free.
Oh my God! Talk about he gonna come bring me a 2-piece and some fries at 2 o'clock in the morning. Y'all are hilarious, man. Y'all Longhorn fans. What do y'all get free cannabis down there at UT? What are y'all doing? Because y'all, I'm concerned about y'all. Keith, you got glaucoma? You got that cannabis for your glaucoma?
No, sir. No, we don't need any of that. We don't. Listen, our vision is crystal clear. We just the same way we saw our way into the SEC, we're gonna see our way to the national championship. As soon as we get to that, I'm calling it right now, AJ. Give us about no less than 5 years in the SEC after recruiting all of these 5-star players in the state of Texas. We will be the undisputed national champion of the NCAA football world.
Ty, get your man.
And AJ, let me hit you with basketball too. In year 1, I'm thinking Final Four. That's why we got come to town. Might go ahead and get a national championship in year 1 with Chris Beard.
I don't understand y'all, man. I don't understand y'all at all.
And don't let Chris Beard open up that new arena. We haven't opened that yet.
Okay.
Wow. You're gonna see UT basketball on a whole nother level we've never seen before.
Okay.
I'm actually more excited about basketball. This is I can't believe I'm actually saying this. I'm actually more excited about basketball than football because this is the first time I think Texas in the school history has had a guy where basically his whole career has been in the state, except for maybe a couple jobs when he had it in Arkansas. But what Chris Beard is about to do at Texas, the SEC is not one to see that. You'll see year one, that squad he's put together could easily make it to the Final Four, if not win it.
Okay. All right, y'all. We got Longhorn Keith. We got Todd. It's Talk Your Team Tuesday. They talking up their Longhorns. Todd, I gotta agree with you. I feel like basketball is the best shot that y'all have right now, and I think that'll be the fastest way to get to the top. Like they'll get there before football will. And Keith, I'm gonna throw this back at you. If the recruiting doesn't come through like y'all think it is, or it will, where do you go from there? I mean, if recruits tell you one thing, oh yeah, if y'all were in the SEC, we would come there. And then once y'all get there, they do just the opposite. They still go to LSU. They still go to to Alabama. They still go up to Ohio State. They still go to Oklahoma. What do you do?
Well, and that's a great question, AJ. And to be serious, to answer that question in a serious fashion, I'll just tell you this. I don't think that we're going to close the gates on recruiting in the state of Texas. While it would be great to keep some of those 4- and 5-star players in the state, I think it's also important for us to know that some of the best players on our roster right now are not from this great state. But it does not mean that we won't be good, because the difference in philosophy between this coach and the previous regime is that immediately Coach Sarkisian is starting to understand or at least he is emphasizing the importance of developing players. Developing players, doesn't matter what their recruiting rankings are. It's about developing the player from who they are to where you want them to be so that they can have the most success on the field. To give you a prime example of that, the number one athlete in the state or in recruiting last year for this 2020 class, Jatavian Sanders, is a 6'4", 250-pound beast of a wide receiver, tight end, / defense mid. Yet, he gets on the practice field, and the first thing that they work on with him is blocking schemes and learning the offense, the importance of putting your hands and body in the proper position. That's important because that's developing the player to get the best out of him and get the most out of him. And I think that's important. So to answer your question, I think that I don't believe that we're going to get all the players that we think we're going to get just because we're moving to the SEC. We've got to show results on the field, and I think that'll happen within the next 2 years.
Gotcha. Todd, basketball-wise, again, I'm with you. Who do you see your biggest challenge in the SEC? And even before you get there, who's your biggest challenge in the Big 12? Because to me, the Big 12 has a better basketball conference, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the basketball, the Big 12 is better, in my opinion, than the SEC, right? I don't know how big of a margin that would be, but it's Baylor. I mean, Baylor just won the national championship, right? So, I mean, I'd say everything runs through Waco right now. But one thing I loved about Chris Beard in that press conference, he was like, man, this is not a rebuild. We're trying to win year one. And I know at press conference you can't put a whole lot of stock, but when he hit the ground recruiting with all these transfers, and he had to because he only had 3 returning players on that roster. So he had to fill a lot of it up with transfers. But I've never seen a Texas team this deep and this talented. And I've never seen a Texas coach, even going all the way back to Tom Penders, that is able to recruit like this. But this is the first coach I've ever seen there that really has deep Texas ties like he has. And guys want to go play for him. One thing that the previous coaches had a hard time is, I think, when it came to competing against Baylor and Kansas, we could never really recruit elite guards. We got some big men like Jared Allen, Mo Bamba, Jackson Hayes, but never could get any guards that could shoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what you're seeing with Chris Beard is he's going to be able to get some bigs, but to win the Big 12 and even the SEC, you're going to have some guards that can shoot from the outside. So I think that's the biggest thing he's going to, be able to flip. So I think basketball is easier to flip, obviously quicker than football because, there's not as many guys on the team. So, and I think what Keith was saying about football, I don't think the days are over. The Mac Brown days are over where you lock down the state. That was a very different time when Mac first got here. TCU was terrible. Baylor was awful at that time. A&M was not in the SEC. So, but to Keith's point, when you're now in the SEC, you can pull a kid from California. You say, okay, I don't have to go all the way across the country and from different parts of the country, Arizona, and different things. So you can tap into that bigger brand nationwide and not pull everybody from the state of Texas. But we did lose a lot of kids to A&M, Ohio State, Alabama that just simply didn't want to play in the Big 12. They looked at the Big 12 as a joke. And as a fan base, it doesn't really matter what we think about it. If you got a lot of 4- or 5-star recruits going to A&M, which a lot of them are on the record saying, I would have went to Texas if they were in that conference. I just don't think that conference can develop me the right way.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Got Keith, Longhorn Keith Hawkins, and Todd Malcolm. It's Talking Team Tuesday. We're talking about the Longhorns, of course. It's going to be very interesting because, again, you got at least, and I'm in agreement with you guys, they're probably going to be gone after this season, but you got at least one more season in the Big 12. Keith, give me an idea where you think the Longhorns football team is going to end up this season in the Big 12.
Man, I struggle with this because, like I told you before, I'm very honest about the team. Off the top of my head, the fan in me wants to say first, but because given all the woes that we've had against Oklahoma over the last few years, and because they are who they are, with not a lot of changes, especially at the head coaching position or at the coaching position, I've got to say, and then let's not act like we just have been world beaters against TCU as well as Iowa State. So, to answer your question, I guess I would say we will probably finish best case scenario second, worst case scenario third. But that would be a huge disappointment. And I know it's only his first year, but it would be a huge disappointment to say the least for Steve Sarkisian.
Todd, go ahead and answer that same question.
Man, I'm not giving Sarkisian a grace period. Let me tell you why. When you fired Tom Herman, if it wasn't a COVID year last year, we would have faced Kansas. That would have been a win. That gets them to 8 wins. We would have beat LSU because LSU was trash last year. That's 9 wins. We also didn't play South Florida because the game got canceled because of COVID. That's 10 wins. You fire a coach that would have had you 10 wins? I'm going to need 9 to 10 wins out the game from start out the gate because if you don't, it made no sense to me to fire Tom Herman. Now, if you fired him because he was a jerk off the field, can't get along with the school president, AD, hey, then that's a separate issue. That's part you got to be able to, work with those people in, a leadership role. And if you can't, sometimes you got to go. That's what happened to Mike Leach at Tech. But no, I'm going to need 9 to 10 wins, minimum 9. Because you talking about 7 or 8, I'm like, hey, why did we make the change? You got a lot of those guys coming back. So you can have a mantra, all gas, no brakes, and then you coming out the gate slow. So
man, y'all got me saying that everywhere I go. I say all gas, no brakes, or I mess with somebody and say you all brakes, no gas. Like, wait a minute, I'm stuck in the pot. You sure are. Y'all holding me up. Get on the gas, get off the brakes. I like that saying. But anyway, I'm gonna hit y'all with the real deal, and I'm not being a hater. Write this down. Make it suspenseful. Here, take the bike with you. Number 1, Oklahoma. Number 2, Oklahoma State. Number 3, Iowa State. number 4, UT. And you can flip-flop either Iowa State or Oklahoma State. One of those two is going to come in second. And it might be Iowa State, all joking aside.
No, and I think, AJ, I got Oklahoma. But here's the thing with Sark. If you make that move, you just fired a coach that could have got you 10 wins. He lost 3 games by a combined 13 points. Okay? I mean, that's you have to. Sark's got to bust that bracket you just put together. He's got to come in there and say, you know what, probably not going to beat Oklahoma, but I got to get the number 2 spot, because if you finish 4th, what was the point of changing coaches? That's why I'm out.
And I get you. I get you. Your logic makes sense, but it doesn't change the fact that right now, y'all probably the 4th best team in the conference, in the Big 12. Right now, Sark coming in don't make you jump up to number 2. It doesn't.
But that's what he's got to prove.
I understand. That's what he's got to prove. But he ain't proved it yet. Here, there's unproven yet, so he got to sit there at number 4 and work his way up from there. And better hope Kansas State don't come out better than y'all thought he was, or Baylor. And I tell you what, I'm so disappointed at Baylor. I got a young man that I know that goes to Baylor's mom's, real dear friend of mine. So I watched a lot of Baylor. And, man, let me tell you something. I expected much more out of that head coach coming out of LSU than what he's put on the table. And, man, he loved that quarterback that he had last year. They needed to bench his behind in several games and have a chance to win. So as much as you're talking about how close UT was, Baylor, with some different decisions and some better coaching, and they're in the discussion. So I'm just saying, Todd and Longhorn Keith, as y'all talking your team, they're going to have to prove it this year. They have to prove it. Willie Gibson sent in a good question. He says, does the conference develop the kid, or does the school/coaching staff?
Exactly, and that's my point. And to Willie Gibson's point, it really is the school and slash coaches. And to Todd's point, and I hear what Todd is saying, you make some very relative points, but I think where the one decision that CDC or Chris Del Conte, the athletic director, probably why he had to move away from Tom Herman, it's not so much by the points that he lost, but it was because of the culture that was being lost. And there were recruits, and mainly 2 significant recruits that we lost to Alabama, whose father played at Texas, the Rockemeyer brothers. But because they did not believe that the coaching staff that we had could develop them, and they said this out of their own mouth, well, their father did, that they chose Alabama over Texas. And my point is not because it's the SEC, it's because it's the development of players. Who puts players into the best position to be drafted and to get what they ultimately are looking for, and that's an opportunity to play at the next level. And that's why I believe that what we saw with Sarkisian hiring the coaches that he hired and paying them what he's paying them, this is a very crucial year for Texas, a very crucial year. And that's understating it. I know it's Sark's first year, but it's crucial because you've got. Yeah.
Now, I was going to say, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but when you got Alabama that's recruiting so well in Texas, you got Ohio State that's recruiting so well in Texas, man, you gotta thank God for one thing. You got to thank God that USC and UCLA aren't recruiting better out of Texas than they have in the past. Because, man, whatever it is, whether it's head coaches, whether it's conference, whatever it is, the Ohio States, the Alabamas, they've broken that Texas wall down. They're not afraid to recruit and go up against the best of the best in the state of Texas. They're not afraid to go up against UT. They're not afraid to go up against A&M. They're like, okay, if they're at the table, we got a good shot. That shouldn't be.
No, I agree. I 100% agree, but I'll tell you this too, and this is important to note. Alabama, Ohio State, LSU, Oklahoma, those schools recruit out of Texas, not multiple players. Oklahoma State recruits multiple players. Oklahoma to a certain degree. Half of their rosters made up of Texas players. But most of these schools that recruit out of Texas, the thing that hurts Texas the most, and A&M also helps in this process, is that
not that they're going to get multiple good players. They get some of the best players at some of the best positions. And that kills you. It absolutely kills you.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I say Ohio State is like, okay, the top quarterback in the country is in Texas. Let's go get him. The top wide receiver is in Texas. In the country is in Texas. Let's go get him. That shouldn't be. They should be able to come all day, every day, but they should walk out every time empty-handed. And it's just the other way around.
Yeah, 100%. I agree, man. 100%. And we've got to. That's why it's got to get better at developing the players.
Todd, before we get out of this first hour, give me where UT finishes in the Big 12 in basketball this season.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm gonna say number one. I'm gonna say they win it. I'm going all in.
Okay, is my mic still on? I'm sorry.
Baylor.
I didn't mean to do that deep Negro spiritual swing low sweet chariot coming for to carry me home side in the middle of your prediction. Go ahead, say it again, Todd.
Number one. I'm not cautious. My man Longhorn Keith need to come with it too.
Yeah.
Look, second, third place. We're not doing that no more. That's over.
Yeah.
We are gonna win the conference in basketball.
Right.
And in football.
This season, Todd. This season.
9 to 10 games.
Todd. Chris Beard don't even know where the bathrooms are. He knows where the one in his office is if he got one in there, but he don't know where the bathrooms, cafeteria. He don't know where, if the president calls for a meeting, he gonna need directions to the office. You telling me he gonna walk Kansas and Baylor down this year?
Dog walk them.
Okay, all right. Keith, you get last word. Where does the basketball team end up this year?
Oh, they got to finish first for sure.
Oh, okay.
That team is loaded, man.
Oh, okay.
And Chris Beard is a dog of a coach, and I love that about him.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I hope Chris Beard is who y'all say he is. Because I remember seeing him sitting on the floor acting like a little baby. I wish I had a brush in my purse where I could just get it and tear his little legs up. Get yourself up from there. But I hope he is who y'all say he is. I mean, he did it at Texas Tech. He put them back on the map after Bobby Knight tried to bury them in God knows where. So, yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Todd, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, especially since you got all your picks wrong. Go ahead.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, Todd Malcolm 2003.
Todd is a great follow. All joking aside, Todd is a great follow. And if you get into his inner circle, he'll send you some of the funniest stuff in the world. Me on the heavy bag. Me when the Longhorns win the SEC. And man, you are hilarious, Todd. I love you like a brother. All right, Keith, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you.
Yes, sir. Coffee with Keith on Instagram. That's coffee with a K. KOFFEE with Keith. KEITH. Instagram, follow me all day long.
Let me tell you something, man. You are Big Willie style. This dude's show is so blown up right now. He calls into his own show like, yeah, I'm just out here chilling. I want to shout out to my homeboy here and all the good folks over in Columbia. I'm like, bro, you are amazing. I love your show, Coffee with Keith, every Saturday from 12 to 1 right here on the Legendary KYOK. Hey, brothers, I will whoop y'all some more next Tuesday.
Appreciate it, guys.
Sounds good.
All right, y'all. Appreciate it. I love hanging out with those cats. They are true about what they believe about their team. Me and Willie Gibson gonna have to do the post interview after that and break that stuff down. We'll be right back right after this on the lunch break.
1140 AM, KYOK Conroe, and 92.3 FM, K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
When you walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! I'm going to the house!
I got to tell you offline. I got to tell you offline.
7 in the morning.
I got to tell you offline.
You know this? Is that you?
Yeah.
Okay, it came back.
These are tickets. I'll call it. I'll call it. Okay. But you know what we call you later? Yeah, we call you after your walk. Yeah. I had to come up here. It was that I had to make sure I was up here.
Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all
I had to
this
make
stuff
sure.
remind me.
I had to be sure. I don't want to bother you, Mr. Martin. I just got to be in the business. And take my business. I'll talk to you later. I love you. Yes, ma'am. I'm on it. You got a good one, Matt Dog. You got a good one. You got a good one. I'll call you later.
Send me one message. This is what it feels like. Oh my.
Woo!
You ain't gonna work my way. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go.
Tish, I'll call you later. Okay. Okay. Oh, no, that was his first hour on the book, second hour underway right here on the legendary KYOK. I just worked up a sweat knocking Todd and Longhorn Keith out. And, man, Greatest, call me back. Greatest, call me back because you will never, ever, ever again be my tag team partner. I see you coming to the ring. I'm knocking you out, too. You know how you be coming down to the ring, and then you hear somebody else's music. You let me hear, I'm the greatest of all time. I'm turning around, knocking you out too. Then I'm running to the ring, and I'm throwing Todd over the top rope. I'm throwing Longhorn Keith over the top rope. We doing tables, ladders. We doing the Royal Rumble. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this? Willie. Are you my tag team partner, or do I need to back you in the forehead with a table?
No, we're not doing that.
What are we doing? You with me or no?
I got you.
You know, I'm the Junkyard Dog. Who are you?
I'm Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Okay. Now you're talking. You can come off of the top rope with some heat. I like it.
Indeed.
I like it. All right, because Greatest called in. I'm thinking we finna go down to the ring and whoop up on Longhorn Keith. I'll be doggone if I turn around and he gone.
Right.
So what'd you think about Longhorn Keith and Todd and their assessment of the UT Longhorns and their eventual matriculation into the into the SEC?
The first thing I had to try to figure out, was it satire? Were they serious? Were they joking?
Brother, let me say, all gas, no brakes, straight serious, man.
That's amazing.
And I love that saying. I've got some people who are really, really close to me, not kind of close to me, really, really close to me. They know I've been saying that like crazy. But man, look, I'm all gas, no brakes. And if you get real crazy, I'm like you, all brakes, no gas.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand the sentiment. But
Yeah.
you can have some realization in this.
Willie said you can say whatever you want to say. It can sound real good, but you still got to play them.
That's it. Say, yeah, that's a lot.
I tried to give them truth and reality when I said this Longhorns team right now. And I'm not talking about last year's Longhorn team. I'm not talking about next year's Longhorn team. This Longhorns team right now has got to overcome Oklahoma, which is one of the top two teams in the country. They got to overcome Iowa State, and they got to overcome Oklahoma State. And I threw Baylor in there because, like I said, Baylor, their coach, man, he was real timid. When I tell you he coached by the book, he didn't take any risks. He didn't pull his struggling quarterback out. Baylor is one of those teams where if you get a real cutting edge coach in there who will take some risks, they could be a better team. Kansas State could be a better team. But those other teams, they got to figure out. They got to figure those teams out right now. I just tried to give them the truth. Right now, UT's sitting about fourth for me in the Big 12.
That's generous. And they have to do all of that with a first-year coaching.
My point, a new quarterback,
That's a lot. Those are very generous expectations. Very yeah.
Let me go ahead and throw this out, and I know people are gonna be mad at me for saying this. Almost everybody looks good coaching with the talent that Nick Saban has. So all those offensive coordinators look good, defensive coordinators look good, and then they get out on their own and they don't have Nick Saban's players. All those offensive coordinators look good under Bill Belichick. Defensive coordinators look good under Bill Belichick. But then they got outside of New England. They didn't have TB12. They didn't have Bill Belichick. They didn't have his recruiting. I mean, his drafts and the way he handles players. And then all of a sudden they just couldn't quite do it. All I'm saying is, all right, good luck. Sounds good. Figure it out. Steve Sarkisian was the man in Alabama. Well, he got to be the man in Austin.
To follow up on your Nick Saban piece, ask Josh Gaddis in Michigan. Josh Gaddis was the boy wonder. Offensive coordinator under Nick Saban. Coming to Michigan, he's going to turn it around. How'd that work out for him? How's it working for them? It's not. Because he doesn't have Mac Jones.
Right.
He doesn't have Najee Harris.
Right.
He doesn't have, the Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Waddle.
I mean, you replace Waddle with Devontae Smith. What?
Exactly.
Okay.
Who wins the Heisman Trophy? Right.
Okay. I'm not knocking UT. Please don't get it wrong. Nobody wants UT to do better than me. I'm serious. I'm over the Charlie Strong thing. I'm over the Mac Brown thing. I'm over the Shaka Smart thing. I'm over all that. All I'm saying is you gotta put up a show. Kind of to Todd's point, if you're gonna make a change at head coach, you can't bring somebody in to go, with 7 wins, 8 wins. You can't do that.
I get it. I get that. I mean, again, we shall see. Steve Sarkisian, this is what, his third stop? USC, Washington, down Texas, with a couple offensive coordinator positions in the middle, in between those. Okay. I hope it works. I do. I hope it works.
One of the things that I brought up about them, Willie Gibson, broadcast journalist from Columbus, Ohio, covers the Ohio State Buckeyes, the Big Ten, as well as the Cleveland Browns and other sports. He's a part of Folks. Is it Folks Talking Sports?
Yes.
Okay, got it right. Man, I've been messing that up. He's part of that as well. And the Will Knows podcast joining us right here on Talk Your Team Tuesday. One of the things that I shared was that Ohio State, Alabama, and LSU, they don't care nothing about the number one whatever position player being in Texas. They coming to get them. They coming to get the number one position player out of the state of Texas. And more often than not, they're walking away with them, not just because UT is in the Big 12.
No. I mean, South Lake Carroll. We walked in there and Quinn Ewers is on his way to Columbus. I mean, I think his last count, it's 7 players from Texas on Ohio State's current roster for the 2021 season. I mean, and that goes with, I would venture to say, I don't know the exact number, off the top 50, 60 players from Ohio, some Washington players sprinkled in there, some Florida players sprinkled in. Ohio State's going to, if they come for you, they're pretty much going to get you. If Ohio State, like you said, if Ohio State is at the table, they're not coming away empty-handed in most respects.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's where UT has got to build a Texas wall. They've got to build a Texas wall where, A, they're slowing Ohio State, Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma down from, Clemson, from, the state of Texas. And then B, they're walking away with those recruits. They're walking away with more than they're losing. If they can do that, now if them going to the SEC can do that, then they're right. These guys are right. There'll be a significant change in the UT standings and wins and excitability and recruiting. Because when you get a couple of recruits like that, look at what Mississippi did a couple of years ago. When they had all those recruits that went there, more recruits wanted to go there. And then, of course, all heck broke loose. But I'm just saying.
Watch your phone calls. Nonetheless, and that's what happens here at Ohio State. I mean, Ryan Day will get a commit from a recruit, and then that recruit will then begin calling other recruits to come play with me. I mean, right now, Tom McCord, freshman quarterback from Philadelphia, he took the lead, and in camp right now, he's living with the 4 freshman wide receivers. Things like that happen. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Kyle Stover, Jack Sawyer, the number 1 defensive player in the 2021 class, when the young man from Washington, JT2 Mosololo, was being recruited by Ohio State from Washington, he got on the phone and said, "Listen, if you want to come here, I'll give up 33 because the young man wore 33 as well. I'll give up 33 to be sure you wear 33."
So it's a family affair. It's a family affair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, let me ask this. Let me ask Willie Gibson again. Just, we spent a lot of time talking about UT. Oklahoma, I mean, Lincoln Riley just gets stud quarterback, stud running back, stud lineman. I mean, how come Oklahoma doesn't have the same challenges as a UT in recruiting?
Well, a couple things. One, they have a recent pedigree of winning, and they have a staff continuity. I mean, Tom Herman, his staff, for whatever reason, he wasn't clicking with the recruits. And it's clear that the administration there saw that at the UT, that they got him out of there. So it's a relationship business. I mean, that goes without saying. It's not just relationship amongst the players. Coaches have to build relationships with these players. The days of, on the line, blowing whistles and bear crawling 50 yards and getting back up, that's over. It's relationship now. It's all about how can you develop a relationship. Now, some people may question it, like, they're bending over backwards for these 17, 18, 19-year-old kids. You may call it that. That depends on the perspective. But you have to build a relationship with these kids, and they have to know you're genuine.
Yeah.
Because if you're not genuine, they can see, okay, this coach just wants me to come here so he doesn't lose his job.
Right.
Know that you care, and that you're going to benefit them and help them to achieve their goals of getting to the next level and graduate.
Yeah.
They're
definitely. Let's not lose that. I can take a quick break. When we come back, I mean, Oklahoma had a run on Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks for a minute. And, by the way, the guy that they got now is the preseason favorite to win the Heisman again. We'll take a break, come back with Willie Gibson for another minute after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110. Guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
800-298-0139. 800-298-0139. 800-298-0139. That's 800-298-0139.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
This is Lakeisha, and you're listening to Lunch Break on KYOK.
Thank you, Lakeisha. Appreciate that on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Streaming live, KYOKradio.org and YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Let me go back to my man, Willie Gibson. Appreciate being able to talk to you three, man. You and Longhorn Keith and Todd on Talk Your Team Tuesday. So Rattler, a leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy this year. Of course, they had Baker, they had Jalen Hurts, they had, who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. Kyler Murray. There we go. Bruh, what do you think Sarkisian is going to be known for? Quarterbacks want to go play for Lincoln Riley. Who's going to want to go play for Steve Sarkisian?
That's a great question.
Is he a quarterback coach? Is he an offensive genius? I mean, hit me up.
He took the season on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, he played quarterback himself back in the day at BYU, I believe. And been offensive coordinator in the league. Been a head coach, like I said, at Washington, head coach at USC. Didn't end quite so well for him there. Got some time away, rehabilitated himself, got his life in order, and went to Alabama and used that as a springboard for the UT job. So he's the offensive guy, definitely offensive quarterback, offensive guru, if you will. Again, will he have the ability to develop relationships with those players to bring them in? I mean, Quinn Ewers was a Texas commit that decommitted and signed with Ohio State. So I don't know the particulars of what went wrong in that relationship or that recruitment, but he's on his way to Columbus now.
Yeah.
So, it's not just X's and O's. Again, this relationship, these kids know. When these kids know, I mean, especially now with name, image, and likeness, they know the commodity that they are. They know the worth that they have.
Yeah.
So they're not going to just fall for, I hope I can say it like, I'm not going to say it like that. They're not going to fall for the shenanigans of previous recruitment process.
Yeah. Big shout out to De'Aaron King, quarterback from Houston area. Used to play for the Cougars before Dana Holgerson came in and tried a little end around and ended up costing him. But he's down at Miami, just signed a huge name, image, and likeness deal with the hockey team, professional hockey team in Florida. Congratulations, De'Aaron, because he's doing great things for other young men, young people in the name, image, and likeness space, starting a company to help find opportunities for them, and then signing an amazing deal himself. I'm real happy for that young man.
Oh, without question. That's funny. I had a conversation this morning with a colleague that covers Ohio State as well. He's like, it's interesting now to see these deals out in the open.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been wink, wink, nod.
Right.
$100 handshakes under the table and things of that nature. So to now see them in the open, he said it's weird, man. I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, you got to be happy with these kids that they're able to monetize and maximize the ability that they have to provide for themselves and their families at this stage.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I'm happy for them. Let me do something real quick, Willie, before you have to go. I know you're a busy man. I did a power ranking in the NFL, not by quarterback, not by wins and losses, but by head coaches. And I know particularly the AFC North is going to be of interest to you. Give me your power rankings for the AFC North, if you don't mind, just off the top of your head.
Oh, yeah. Can I go 4-1? Zach Taylor?
Yep.
Man. I'll do it. John Harbaugh, Kevin Stefanski, Mike Tomlin.
You were close, man. You were so close. I thought maybe you took your medicine, you were okay today, and you was just go ahead and tell the whole truth, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Kevin Stefanski is at number 3. He ain't there yet. He's on his way. He's probably got the most upside in the division, but he's at number 3. You want me? I'm gonna give you a do-over. Do it again. Do it again.
Okay. From 4-1.
Yep.
Zach Taylor, John Harbaugh, Kevin Stefanski, Mike Thomas.
Your record is stuck. You don't know about the records where you had to put the needle on it, and sometimes it skip and say the same thing that it just said. Your record is stuck. So let me give it to you because you got it wrong. Number 4, Zach Taylor. Number 5, with a huge green arrow pointing up, Kevin Stefanski. Number 2, Super Bowl winning head coach John Harbaugh. And number 1, Super Bowl winning head coach, never had a losing record, Mike Tomlin.
Those Super Bowls, they both won them this year?
That's beside the point. That's beside the point. And that's why the green arrow, if there's only one green arrow that I can give to a division, I would give it without doubt to Stefanski. I would give it without doubt. But let's just be honest. He's got one season. He's got one winning record. And even with that winning record, what place were they? Where did they finish in the division?
Tied for second.
I love you, man. I love you for free. Do you hear me? If I had to pay to love you, bro, I'd be like, nah, I don't even need to do it. Look, leave me alone. I love him for free. Boy, you're gonna be all right. Give my niece whatever she wants. Give her whatever she wants.
Indeed.
Tell my sister I said hey. Tell Auntie I said hey. He will not. I know you love Stefanski. I'm telling you, he is the up-and-coming head coach in the NFL, let alone in the division. But he just happens to be in a division with 2 coaches that have accomplished more than he has just yet. It could change after this season. It just hadn't changed after 1. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No, bro, check my math for me, though. Can you look up the AFC North standings from last year? I'm being for real. Check my math for me.
Gosh.
Check my math for me.
Okay. Well, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, bro.
Twitter, Instagram, Will Gibson 7. Will Gibson 7. Facebook, Will Knows. Folks Talking Sports, Sundays at 7 Central on YouTube TV. Chris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, Andy Yanez, and myself. I think that's it.
I saw Evan Mobley play. Was it yesterday? Saw Mobley play yesterday. I was surprised, man. Your summer league, bro. Take them shots. Take them. Take them.
Yeah, I watched about 13 seconds of it, and we're getting ready for the end of September training camp. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I tried to watch about 13 seconds.
Yeah. It's a different style of play in summer league. It's different.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Respect. But I couldn't do it.
I got you. Hey, man, have a good rest of your day, bro. We'll talk soon, all right?
Yes, sir. You as well.
All right, Will Gibson, man, good brother. Boy, he would not give up that Kevin Stefanski. He would not. Let me do it again because, he was close. He was right there. Number 4, Zach Taylor, Cincinnati. He got to get it together. He's got to go. Number 3, Kevin Stefanski. He is on the uptick, but he's still at number 3. Number 2, John Harbaugh. Number 1 is Mike Tomlin. And I want them talking about Cleveland. I want them talking about Baltimore. Let them talk about Cincinnati because quietly, Pittsburgh is going to be up on top in that division. Let me go to the AFC East power rankings by head coach. Number 4, Robert Saleh. It don't matter. It's the Jets. I was driving in and I was thinking to myself, you like all excited, and then you realize, dang, I'm the head coach of the Jets. You're like all excited to be one of the top picks in the NFL, and then you're like, man, I play for the Jets. I mean, when does it kick in that you are a member of the Jets, Jets? That organization, man, I'm serious. That organization is one of the worst run in the NFL. Bar none. Come at me, bro. Whatever you want to do. You can't argue that point. They might be turning it around now, but just like I said about Kevin Stefanski, they're not there yet. So, yeah, Coach Selah, I know. Oh, God, he doesn't even know the coach's head. It don't matter what his name is. I like him as a motivator, as a dude. I wish he had gotten a different job than that Jets job. I think his career is gonna suffer for. It's either you turn them around and get the credit for turning them around, or you don't and you just like everybody else. It's just that bad. Look at how they tried to bury the head coach. I mean, the defense coordinator of Tampa Bay. Look at how they tried to bury Todd Bowles. If Rex Ryan is the best thing you've had in a head coach in a while, that don't say a whole lot about your organization. Number 3 is a dude that I would give the up arrow to, Brian Flores. If I could only give one green up arrow in every division, Brian Flores would get it in the AFC East. Number 2, Sean McDermott. Number 1, Bill Belichick. Again, I can't put McDermott over Belichick yet. You've done it once. You've done it once. You won the division from New England one time out of the last 100 years. I'm sorry, you don't get coach of the division for doing that once. Bill Belichick, number 1, McDermott, number 2, Flores, number 3, with the green arrow, and at number 4, Robert Saleh. All right, AFC North we've done already. AFC South, it's easy. Number 4 in that division, David Culley. I could have flipped him and Urban Meyer. Culley's never coached before as a head coach. Urban Meyer's got credit in other places and is probably going to be successful in the NFL because he's been successful everywhere he's been. So I'm going Urban Meyer at number 3. I'm going Frank Reich at number 2. And I'm going Mike Vrabel at number 1. And if I had to give the green arrow to anybody, I put it right up top. I don't think we've seen the best of Mike Vrabel yet. In fact, I got Mike Vrabel as the best assistant coach under the Bill Belichick tree. And I love Josh McDaniels. I love Josh. But Mike Vrabel is the best head coach to come out from under Bill Belichick. AFC West, number 4, I'm going Brandon Staley with the Chargers. Number 3, I know y'all are going to like this and you're going to think I'm hating, John Gruden at number 3. I put John Gruden down there because John Gruden has been a whole lot of hype with very little sizzle. What do they say? Whole lot of steak, very little sizzle? John Gruden. Dude, you got a $100 million deal. Where that? You moved into one of the nicest stadiums in the world. You had a very serviceable quarterback. You had one of the best defensive players in the game. One of the best defensive players in the game, and you traded that dude away for trash. No, man. John Gruden, number 3. Number 2, Vic Fangio. Number 1, Andy Reid, by far. If I had to give the up arrow to anybody in the division, Andy Reid. He's got the best chance to win another Super Bowl in that division. Let me go over to the NFC side. Keith Hennick, I hope you're still listening. NFC South. Number 4, Arthur Smith. He sounds like he should be a partner in a law firm. Smith, Barney, Johnson, Jones, III. Arthur Smith at number 4. At number 3, again, a dude that came in with a lot of sizzle, a lot of fanfare, a lot of uptick, but the decision he made to get Sam Darnold and get rid of Teddy Bridgewater and not make a quarterback pick in the draft tells me, I don't know. Matt Rule at number 3. Number 2, Bruce Arians. And I know he just won the Super Bowl. I know that he had been to a Super Bowl before. But again, Sean Payton has been more consistent. So number 1 head coach in the NFC South, Sean Payton. Number 2, Bruce Arians. Number 3, Matt Rule. And then number 4, because he ain't done nothing, I don't know nothing about him, Arthur Smith. Matt Rule, I'm telling you, man, it's put up or shut up time in Carolina. I'm going to have Vashti Hurt back on the show and let her talk about what the expectations are for Matt Rule, because a lot of stuff has come out of that camp about how Joe Brady is running his quarterback camp. He's not doing situational coaching. They're not running 2-minute drills. They're not running, if it's 4th and 29, what do we do? And it showed. And you're going to run with that with Sam Darnold? We'll see. We'll see. NFC East. No, let's go NFC North. We did the South. Let's do the NFC North. Dan Campbell is, to me, probably going to be the worst coach in the NFL. I could be wrong, and I'll admit it if I am. Right now, I'm sticking with that. Dan Campbell at number 4 with the Lions. Number 3, Matt Nagy with the Bears. Number 2, Mike Zimmer with the Vikings. And number 1, Matt LaFleur. I know he didn't have much time under his belt in Green Bay, but look at what he did with the season that he had. And I think they're heading to the Super Bowl this year. I really do. I think they're heading to the Super Bowl this year. Again, number 1 in the NFC North, Matt LaFleur, Green Bay. Number 2, Mike Zimmer, Minnesota. Number 3, Matt Nagy, Chicago. Number 4, Dan Campbell and the Lions. Dan Campbell is oh, God. I hope he's a good person, because his comments as a head coach are just, it's like, bro, what's wrong with you? Like, for real, what, are you serious right now? We grown men with bills and children. I mean, stop talking to us like that. All right, let's go NFC East. Nick Sirianni, Mr. Oh, we're going to make it so easy that's going to be easy, but it'll be hard to the other team. But for us, it's going to be easy. As long as we make it easy, it'll be easy, but it'll be hard for the other team to figure us out. Nick Sirianni. Philadelphia Eagles, number 4. Number 3, Joe Judge and the Giants. Daniel Jones, quarterback of the Giants, put up or shut up year. Saquon Barkley is back. Dave Gettleman ought to be put up or shut up. Both of them, they ought to move on from if things don't work out this year. Number two, I am going with Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys. I really think that the Cowboys should have moved on from the defensive coordinator and the head coach of the Cowboys. They had a window of opportunity to do that. But if y'all haven't figured out by now, Jerry Jones is not the same dude as Jerry Jones used to be. The Jerry Jones that walked away from Jimmy Johnson is not the same Jerry Jones that you're dealing with right now. And I think it's because of Steven and the rest of the family. Like, no, Dad, we're not gonna just fire him after 1 year. So Mike McCarthy is still there, second best coach in the NFC East. Ron Rivera is the best coach in the NFC East. Ron Rivera from the Washington football team, Mike McCarthy, Cowboys, number 3, Joe Judge from the Giants, and number 4, Nick Sirianni from the Eagles. And that leaves us with the NFC West. Cliff Kingsbury at number 4. Why he's still in the league, I don't know. If you're an Arizona fan, I'm just telling you right now, your team could be a lot better. But you got Cliff Kingsbury as the head coach. And in the words of the late, great Dennis Gray, he was who we said he was, who we thought he was. I mean, that's who we thought he was. He didn't win at Texas Tech. He was about to be offensive coordinator at Southern Cal, and then they make him the head coach at Arizona. Doesn't mean you're going to make your team a winner. You could have brought him in as the offensive coordinator and got, at least what you're getting out of him now. So Cliff Kingsbury, number 4, NFC West. Number 3, Kyle Shanahan. I know he had that Super Bowl run, but you got to see who he was. Kyle Shanahan. Number 2, a guy who also had a lot of success early, but has tapered off quite a bit, is Sean McVay. And number 1, still by far, Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll did it at USC, did it in Seattle. Pete Carroll, number 1 in the NFC West. Now, let me do this. Out of all those coaches, best ones in each conference, best coach in each conference, I'm still going to say, I'm going to give the slight edge to Bill Belichick still. And I know, hadn't done it since Tom Brady, but you can't take away all those championships. Number 2 for me would be Andy Reid. Number 3 would be Mike Tomlin. And number 4 would be Mike Vrabel, would be my best coaches in the AFC. NFC. Y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but here we go. Number 1, Pete Carroll. Number 2, Sean Payton. Number 3, Matt LaFleur. And number 4, Ron Rivera. NFC, Carroll, Payton, LaFleur, Rivera. AFC, Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, Mike Vrabel. Keith Hennig said you're sleeping on the Buccaneers. If it's the Buccaneers or the field, I'm taking the field. Tell him to listen. Tell Bruce Arians to listen. Because I'm telling you right now, Green Bay is not going to make the same mistake that they made last season. Green Bay is going to the Super Bowl this year. It's going to be Green Bay and either Kansas City or Tennessee this season. I'll go Green Bay and Tampa Bay in the NFC Championship game. I'm going Tennessee and Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. That's what I'm going with. All right, let me take a break. When I come back, I'm talking SWAC football, SWAC and MEAC when we come back right after this on the lunch break on the Legendary KYOK. Let me give you a quick sports update before I go. Deshaun Watson was back at practice. However, it was announced today that he will not travel with the team when they take on Green Bay Saturday at 7. Cowboys are going to visit the Arizona Cardinals Friday at 9. NBA news, Luka Doncic, 5-year, $207 million extension to stay with the Dallas Mavs. The Rockets going to take on Detroit tonight at 8 in Summer League play. You'll get to see the number 1 overall pick, Cade Cunningham, versus the number 2 overall pick, Jalen Green. And then in Summer League play, the Spurs lost to Minnesota 91-89. They'll take on the Bulls tonight at 7. Astros going to host Colorado at 7:05 Central, and the Rangers will visit Seattle. That'll be tonight just after 9. All right, y'all. It is Talk Your Team Tuesday. 281-453-1000 if you want to get in. 281-453-1000 or text me 832-403-5005.
You're listening to
1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The Legendary KYOK.
Do you have high blood pressure or diabetes? Are you over the age of 65 and covered by Medicare? Then pay close attention to this message. Medicare has introduced some new benefits to help consumers during these cautious COVID-19 times. They realize many of you don't want to leave your home to visit a doctor. So now you can get a remote patient monitoring device shipped to your home at little or no cost to you. Now your doctor can identify your problems in real time, which could potentially save your life. Victory Medical can easily ship this monitoring device directly to your home at little or no cost to you. If you have high blood pressure or diabetes and you're covered by Medicare, make this free call right now to see if you qualify for a new remote patient monitoring device. Call now.
800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. That's 800-213-9527.
Do you have a home that you don't want anymore? We can buy it from you within 24 hours, any home, size, or condition. For over 20 years, we've been buying homes for cash and helping homeowners sell their homes immediately, with no listings or strangers walking through your home. Are you moving? Did you lose your job? Going through a divorce? Whatever the reason, if you're in a bind and you know that you need to sell your house fast, call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. We'll make you a serious cash offer to buy your home in 24 hours and let you walk away from it. No listing, no waiting. Sell any home, any size, any condition now. Call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. Make this free call now.
800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. That's 800-306-1760. If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number: 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
This is Lakeisha, and you're listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
I don't know why I keep playing Lakeisha. I just like the way she says her stuff. Thank you, Lakeisha. Thank you, Lakeisha. All right, y'all. Listen, I got to get ready to get out of here, though. Before I go, I got to talk a little swag. Got to talk a little MEAC. Also, just saw the power rankings since the free agent moves in the NBA. The Brooklyn Nets are number one. All right, y'all, man, people are going to get tired. They're going to find out. They're going to mess around and find out about going with the shiny thing. If you don't have the Milwaukee Bucks at number one, Phoenix Suns at number two, you don't know what you're doing. Brooklyn's number one, Bucks number two, Suns number three, Utah number four, Lakers number five, Golden State number six, Miami number seven, Atlanta number eight, Philly number nine, and Dallas number 10. And just a couple of peruses, the Clippers are 11, the Knicks are 13, Celtics are 14. Celtics went from having a serviceable point guard, and now they're going to try to tip their toe in with Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder. All right. Okay. There you go. You know who. Vice President of Basketball Operations. I won't say his name. You know who. There you go. That's what you get. Celtics will be like fifth in the East again. All right. So anyway, let me get to the MEAC. The MEAC is a conference that lost Florida A&M this year. They're losing Bethune-Cookman and the North Carolina A&T. It's on its way to the Big South. Bethune and FAMU on their way to the SWAC. So in their last full season, not the Corona season, but the last full season, the rundown was this. Overall, FAMU was 9-2, 7-1 in conference. North Carolina A&T was 6-2 in conference. South Carolina State was 6-2. Bethune-Cookman was 5-3. Norfolk State was 4-4. North Carolina Central 3-5. Morgan State 2-6. Howard 2-6. And Delaware was 1-7. So the good news is the two powers of the conference are gone. North Carolina A&T and FAMU are gone. So heading into this season, I'll start from bottom to top. I think Delaware State is going to be a little bit better than what they were last year. I'm going with Howard in the bottom spot. Delaware State above them. Morgan State is going to be pretty good, but I've got them third from the bottom. I've got North Carolina Central, Norfolk State, and then I've got South Carolina State winning it all. South Carolina State will win the MEAC championship this year. Again, South Carolina State, Norfolk State, North Carolina Central. I'll go Morgan State. I'll go Delaware State, and then Howard. Howard's got to pick it up. I think they will. I think it'll be an interesting conference play in the MEAC this year. Now, let me jump over to the SWAC real quick, and I'm going to hit these real fast. Let me jump over to the SWAC real quick, and this is where I got in trouble with a lot of the folks that like to cover black colleges. On the west side of the SWAC, I've got Texas Southern at the bottom. I've got Grambling right above them at number 5. Alcorn State at number 4. They'll be a part of the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Alcorn State at number 4. Number 3, Prairie View. Didn't do much in the spring season, but expect a lot more out of them in the full season, provided it goes on. Number 2, Southern. I know that Southern has a new head coach, new system coming in, and they very easily could struggle, but I think they got a lot of talent that's still there. So I got Southern as number 2 in the SWAC West, and number 1, Arkansas Pine Bluff. Pine Bluff is going to be a problem again, just like they were last season, as a representative of the SWAC championship game. Let's go over to the SWAC East. That's where I get into trouble with some of the experts of the SWAC. Number 6, Mississippi Valley State. They got a lot of work to do. Still haven't gotten it done. New to the SWAC, I'm going to put Bethune-Cookman at number 5, only because the East is pretty stacked in the SWAC. Jackson State, Deion Sanders, they still got work to do. Nobody's going to lay down because it's prime time. He's at number 4. Number 5, Alabama State. They were pretty good in the SWAC last year. They're going to be pretty good this year. And then this is where it gets interesting. I know Akil Glass, SWAC Offensive Player of the Year, is coming back to Alabama A&M. But, man, you need to check out that FAMU defense. Now, again, I don't know who's all coming back. I'm trying to get an interview with the head coach down there at FAMU. I'm still working on it. But I'm telling you, if that defense looks anything like it did in their last full season, it's going to be a problem for Akil Glass and the Bulldogs of Alabama A&M. I've got FAMU winning the SWAC East, so that means it'll be FAMU and Arkansas Pine Bluff in the SWAC championship, according to me. And I got FAMU winning it all in their inaugural season of the SWAC. I know. Y'all don't believe that. Y'all don't want to hear that. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to catch a lot of flack. I'll take that smoke. I will take the smoke. So for me, I got FAMU versus South Carolina State in the Celebration Bowl. And don't be surprised if FAMU wins that too, because they got a chip on their shoulder this year, having been put on probation. CJ says, you're going to eat some crow this SWAC season, but I love you. All right, where do I have Alcorn? Oh, yeah, number 4. I see why. You'll be all right. Got me scratching my head over here, man. You will be all right. All right, I didn't do birthdays in the first hour. Let me go ahead and queue up the birthdays for now. If you got a birthday, hit me up, 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. And I got to get Sybil Wilkes on here with a what you need to know today. But let me get to some birthdays real quick right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. One of the baddest ministers out there, one of the coolest dudes, O.L. Kelly II, celebrating his birthday. Lewis White, Alana Briley, Laura Steen Lane. Happy birthday, Laura Steen. Man, she's 59, but she looks like she's 29. Also, Craig Mitchell celebrating a birthday, along with Jennifer Hines. Reginald Jefferson, awesome young man, along with Lanita Burton and Arthur Williams, all celebrating birthdays today. All celebrating birthdays today. Real quick on the celebrity side, y'all remember a guy by the name of John Starks, used to play for the New York Knicks? John Starks celebrating his birthday today. And then one of the big men in boxing, Riddick Bowe, heavyweight boxing champ. He won the silver medal in the Olympics back in '88. He was born in Brooklyn on this day. Happy birthday to you, Riddick Bowe. All right, y'all, without further ado, let me get somebody.
Go, shawty, it's your birthday. Ooh, it's your birthday. Go, shawty, it's your birthday. Today's your day. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you and yours. If you got a special birthday coming up, don't forget to get it to me here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Special anniversaries, too. If you got a special anniversary coming up, hit me up with those. I want to celebrate those with you as well. Again, anniversaries and birthdays are big here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. All right, I got to get ready to go. I'll get Sybil Wilkes on here with what you need to know today. I see text messages coming in from people talking about the coaches' rankings as well as the SWAC and the MEAC rankings. I see my homeboy that went to Howard. He's like, yo, you're not gonna put us last. Win some games, dog. Win some games. Anyway. We'll talk more about those this week. Of course, I'll be talking more about the MEAC SWAC Challenge coming up in August. I'll be attending that game live. I'll be at the Bayou Classic this year, trying to get credentials to the State Fair Classic. Keith Hennig got a chance to see that last year with Prairie View and Grambling, and we'll try and get some coverage from more of the HBCU games this year than we've done in the past. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it, but do me a favor. Wear your mask where you are supposed to. Wash your hands like you are supposed to, and give people their social distance. And when you see that racism, kill it. Racism, bullying, don't be a part of it. Don't laugh about it. Don't joke about it. And don't be silent about it. When you see it, say something. And let's put a stop to it, all right? All right, and y'all, last and certainly not least, consider getting vaccinated. Just consider it. I ain't telling you have to, and I ain't talking bad about you if you don't, but just consider it. All right, Donnie McClurkin up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show. As always, y'all, again, I love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. Here's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Tuesday, August 10th, 2021. Number one, as the U.S. Senate prepares to pass the $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill as early as today, Democrats have released their plans for a $3.5 trillion budget. The infrastructure plan is designed to update America's roads, bridges, and water improvements. That includes eliminating lead pipes. The budget proposal deals with everything else. Among the items in the Democrats' budget proposal is $2 tuition-free community college for 2 years, expansions of paid family and medical leave, and expansion of Medicare benefits, and green energy. Number 2, a federal judge who declared the earlier nationwide moratorium on evictions illegal said she is deeply skeptical of the Biden administration's new order. U.S. District Judge Dabney Friedrich, who was appointed by Donald Trump, ruled in May that the CDC lacked authority under federal law to order a pause on evictions. With the new moratorium set to expire in October, Friedrich suggested the administration was trying to buy time for the distribution of $45 billion in rental assistance money. Despite the skepticism, Friedrich added, she may lack the power to do anything about it. Number 3, soaring COVID-19 cases in children is causing concern among U.S. health and school officials and parents as the fall school year approaches. In a letter to the acting commissioner of the Food and Drug Administration, pediatricians are urging the agency to move quickly on a COVID-19 vaccine for children under age 12. The plea comes as the U.S. experienced the largest week-over-week percentage increase in pediatric COVID cases since the start of the pandemic. Number 4, news of confrontations, often fatal, between police and citizens make headlines every day. NFL standout Logan Ryan and his father Lester, a 25-year Camden, New Jersey police veteran, have created a program to bridge the gap between cops and communities. RAST, Ryan Alternative Solutions Training, is designed to help officers learn self-defense and de-escalation techniques. Read more about it in today's newsletter. Number 5, in these challenging days faced by companies in hiring workers and students saddled with mountainous education loans, Target is offering debt-free degrees with its program to provide free education to its U.S.-based full-time and part-time team members. There are 250 business-aligned programs from over 40 schools, colleges, and universities, including HBCUs such as Paul Quinn College and Morehouse College. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. I forgive all who have caused me hurt and pain in my life, including myself. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedians J. Anthony Brown and Damon Williams as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partner, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SibylWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Y'all have a blessed rest of your day. And Lord say the same. I will talk to you tomorrow. Again, not this, definitely this. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Why is my thing frozen? I'm frozen. It's still right there. I can't even get y'all off.